First up, the Warriors, 4-0 with Steph Curry.
Looking like an MVP to me. And you look, they're 4-0. They're not beating a bunch of world beaters. I get it. But it's the way they're playing and the empowerment he gives role players. That roster is not good enough to be a 4-0 team. They're not good enough to be a top 4 team in the West even, probably. I think they are going to stay in the top 4. Oh. And then they're going to get Klay Thompson back. And if Steph Curry pulls that off, putting up 30 a night with these role players playing this well around him because of the attention he commands, that spells MVP. I think this is your front runner right here.
Tim, I heard you make this argument on a fantastic radio show this morning called Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio, 6 to 10 a.m., and I think it's a compelling case you make. Meantime, the Lakers won in OT without LeBron. He's out again tonight in OKC, Tim. What do you make of it?
And this is why you get Russell Westbrook. The primary benefit is going to be in the regular season because last 3 years, if LeBron sits, they lose. That's not the case. They win a game in overtime last night because they have another engine. A guy to get 33 and 10 as your starting point guard like Westbrook did last night. So this is going to be another case. It's going to be his show. What better stage than back in Oklahoma City for Russell Westbrook? Oh. This is what you get him for so you can sit LeBron and still win.
No, LeBron is going to have a triple-double in the first quarter, Tim. Finally, Nikola Jokic was injured last night, and the Nuggets lost. Tim Legler.
Hopefully it's not bad. He had a knee contusion, but here's the thing. I want to put Denver as a real contender in the West. I do. When all 4 of those guys are healthy and they get Murray back, the problem is this. It's a 2-point game at halftime. It's a 1-point game with 9 minutes to go in the game. Where is Michael Porter? I keep waiting for him to ascend to that star status that I think he will get to. He's averaging 11 points a game through 4. They actually went to Will Barton as their go-to guy when Jokic went down. That's a bad sign for Denver right now. What's going on with Michael Porter?
Especially they just paid him. Just paid him.
I know.
You paid him for more production than that. The 76ers lost to the Knicks 112-99 last night at Madison Square Garden. Joel Embiid did not have a field goal in the first half of his first career loss to the Knicks. He's been in the league a minute. They play in the same division. First career loss to the Knicks. The Knicks took control of the game with a 39-16 second quarter. Okay, legs. Ben Simmons' absence is showing up right now on the court, and in Embiid's, I don't know, frustration, would you say? How much trouble are the Sixers in, do you think?
Listen, the guy had 2 more shots made last night than you or me. That's not a good sign for a guy like this, right? Dominant offensive player. And here's the problem. I saw it last night. The most concerning thing to come out of that game, honestly, his body language, his frustration, his holding the ball too long again because I don't think he's got faith in the playmakers they have right now. Look, I like Tyrese Maxey a lot, and I think he's going to be a really good player in this league for a long time. He's a combo guard off your bench. That's when he's at his best. Same with Shake Milton whenever they get him back. So now you got Seth Curry and Korkmaz basically sharing backup point guard duties. That's not their lane. They're spot-up shooters. The turnovers, the bad possessions, they mounted last night. And when that happens, Joel Embiid tends to just run up the floor, put his arm up, and say, give it to me. And now he's going to turn an ISO and everything stops. That's what happened. And then you could see every time he came out of the game, the look on his face. He was walking to the locker room. He's ripping his jersey off as he's walking down a tunnel. It's just not a good sign. And I just wonder, how long can you go taking an all-star caliber player out of your roster and not replacing it with anything?
Second best player by far on the roster, right? Like, it's Embiid, Simmons, and apologies to Tobias Harrison and everyone else. But also, Tim, this Sixers team's not a great ball movement team. Even when they had Simmons integrated into the team, he was the only kind of natural, fluid passer, right? He's creating all the open looks from 3. And now you don't have that guy.
Yes, and his straight-ahead speed up the floor is one of the fastest guys end-to-end in the league. So the pressure he put on with his early push, now these guys run into trail 3s. Like, that's not happening now. I mean, to watch sometimes either Korkmaz or Curry, good players, but the way they struggle against pressure to handle the ball as backup point guards is hurting their game. It's certainly hurting their possessions. And at the end of the day, Joel Embiid, now look, at some point, if this keeps up and they have nights like this to a team like the Knicks, they get embarrassed like that, right? Joel Embiid's going to say something.
Yeah, Maxey ain't going to be the answer.
Doc's going to say something, and then something has to give. This situation is just untenable.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.